Chapter 30. Chapter 30. We fly to the back of the parking lot and out of sight, quicker than I'd like to admit. I keep looking over my back to see if anyone is following, but I don't even think they realized it was me, the car that was driving off. I know it's only a matter of time before they're checking their cameras to see exactly which car I had jumped into. "Did you break out of there?" Mia asks breathlessly. "Well, yeah," I roll my eyes. Despite my sarcasm, I'm actually dying inside. "How did you manage that? Why would you even do that?" She pops off with questions as we drive down the street. I explain to her what happened as quick as I could, because Aaron... "Oh, Belle," she frowns, shaking her head. I'm surprised to see tears in her eyes. "What?" I ask as I put my hand on her arm. "You have such a big heart. I'm so sorry Hayden got involved with this. Maybe if I would have stayed with him he wouldn't have," she begins, but I cut her off. "You stop it," I tell her sternly. She takes her eyes off the road for a second to look at me. "You should never stay with someone who doesn't make you happy. No matter what." "Okay, I'm sorry." She mumbles. "Don't be," I say. "Do you know where we're going?" "I have an idea," I say to her as I guide her how to get to the treehouse. We swerve through roads full of tall trees, and it feels like every passing moment my heart is beating faster. One could say that I am in absolute panic over Aaron right now. It's only a 15-minute drive, but every second feels like a lifetime. Why did this have to happen? We get to the edge of the forest and I get out of the car immediately. I rush up to the entrance of the woods and Mia follows close behind. "The woods?" she questions confusingly. "You'll see. This way." I take her hand and together we walk into the forest. The cold air nips at my cheeks right away and I curse the single hoodie I'm in. The woods have always seemed beautiful to me, but right now as I look around, everything seems strikingly eerie. We walk through the forest until we reach the hidden trail pathway. Every step I take, my stomach feels tighter and I have to bite my lip to stop myself from crying or screaming or basically just acting like a crazy person. I have to keep it together. I have to keep it together for Aaron. Mia and I stay silent as we walk. I'm not sure she knows what to say. Everything is so messed up right now. I was so happy just a day ago. Things were perfect just a day ago. Now here I am, walking through the cold because some homophobic teenager teamed up with some psychopathic to kidnap my boyfriend. My life is a walking Netflix drama at this point. I'm worse than goddamn Riverdale at this point. We finally make it to the clearing where the treehouse is. I don't have to tell Mia to look up because she did almost instantly. "Is he in there?" she asks, but then her question was answered a moment later when we heard a loud bang and a groan. Mia and I gasp loudly at the same time, and I don't even wait before jumping onto the ladder and pulling myself up it. She follows close behind me. My heart is beating against my ribs like no tomorrow. I get to the top and burst through the door. Inside are only 3 people, Caleb, Hayden, and Aaron. "Aaron!" I yell loudly. He's tied up with his arms behind his back and tied around the leg of the table. As soon as he hears my voice, his head snaps up to look at me. His hair cascades around his face and some of his bangs are in his stormy eyes, but he sees me, and he smiles painfully. "Belle," he croaks through a busted lip and a swollen face. "What the hell are you doing here?" Caleb spits. His dark eyes are filled with pure rage and every bone in my body wants to shrink away from him and cower down. But not when it comes to Aaron. "What the hell do you think you're doing, Caleb?" "Hayden?" I ask, finally addressing Hayden, who has been silent but glaring eyes. "Hayden, how could you?" Mia asks. "Because he's a faggot, Mia." Hayden stated plainly and my mouth just dropped at his statement. I looked up to glare at Caleb, but he only glared back. I could out Caleb just as easily as he outed Aaron and I, but I'm not like that. Just because he took my choice away doesn't mean that I have to take his away. "What is the point in all of this?" I ask, my question directed at Caleb. "The point, Bellamy, is that you two need to be taught a lesson. The dead boys are all I have, and you two think that you can just break that?" he says, pacing around in a circle. Oh my God. He's actually going crazy, isn't he? He walks up to Aaron and gets down on one knee so that their faces are at the same level. Aaron lifts his head up slowly to meet his eyes. "You're disgusting, Caleb Stanley," Aaron says. His poor voice is rough, and I can tell he's in pain. I want to fall on my knees and just embrace him into my arms. That wouldn't get us anywhere though. Caleb sneers and punches Aaron right in the right side of his stomach. A crack echoes throughout the treehouse as Aaron releases a yell and bobs his head down. I watched as his eyes squeezed shut and his lips spread into a thin line. It's as if I were hit just as hard as he was. How dare Caleb hurt him? Aaron. I yell as I race towards him and fall to my knees in front of him. Oh my God. Mia yells. He looks up at me with a forced smile, but he has tears in his eyes. That noise. It sounded just like how it sounded when my ribs were cracked, and I was sent to the hospital. Except this noise was like 10 times worse than the sound my ribs made. Oh my God. Hey love, he says quietly. Before I get to answer him, Caleb pushes me to the ground, and I fall over as he hits Aaron in face once more. I'm getting up when Aaron spits a mouthful of blood onto Caleb. His neck, jaw and t-shirt are painted with my sweet boy's blood. He makes a disgusted face as he realizes what had just happened. This makes Hayden laugh actually, and Caleb just looks up to glare at him. I thought you were better than this. I can't believe I thought I loved you. Mia says to Hayden. Please, you're not as special as you think you are. Hayden snorts and my mouth drops. Mia is one of the most special people that I have ever met in my entire life. You bastard? The small girl yells as she slaps her former lover clean across the face. Leave. He's not going anywhere. Caleb sneers once again. Oh, he's leaving. The cops are on their way here. Something tells me Caleb doesn't care about a charge, but Hayden, what would Daddy say? She says, and Hayden instantly cowers down. See cops? He stutters, his eyes scanning the scene. That's all it takes for him to fly out the door of the treehouse. If it were any other circumstance, I would have laughed. I guess I can just finish the job then, Caleb yells after him. I walk up to Caleb and push him into the wall. I'm no boxer or bodybuilder, but I'm still an athlete. I'm not weak. You think you can put your hands on him? I yell in his face. Caleb pushes me back, but I hit his arms away before he can even move me an inch. You're weak compared to me, he glares, pushing me again. This time he succeeds, but what he doesn't expect is me to punch him hard in the face. His head falls back and pops up just as quickly. He hits me back just as hard, but there's so much adrenaline in my body that I can't even feel the pain. Bellamy. Aaron yells as he sees me get hit. I want to look at him so badly, but I can't let my guard down. I hit Caleb again, and this time it's him who's spitting blood. You're dead. Caleb yells as he runs towards me. The two of us fall to the ground and we wrestle around. Though I have an advantage in height, he definitely has one in strength. Mia begins to scream and cry in the corner, and I can tell she's just having a straight-up anxiety attack. Caleb beats the wrestle and straddles my waist, punching me right in the eye. Oh God, that's so going to be a black eye? The pain still doesn't register in my brain still, and all I can think about right now is that I love Aaron and that I need to protect him. He has his fist raised once again when the door to the treehouse barges open and the rest of the dead boys stand in the opening. They all wear matching faces of surprise and horror. Caleb. What are you doing? Azul yells as he and the other boys take in the scene. Caleb jumps off of me as Azul and Toby run over to me to help me up. Aaron, I breathe out ruggedly. I stagger over to him and drop to my knees in front of him. Belle, he sighs in relief and places his head on my chest as I wrap my arms behind his back in order to untie him. Oh my God, baby, I cry, unashamed of the tears. What are you thinking? Azul asks Caleb as the other boy stands with his teeth bared and his hands clenched at his sides. Then, that's when we hear it. The sirens.